Mickey Charles Mantle. Perhaps no name in baseball history evokes more awe and wonder than that of the Commerce Comet.
His speed could blur your eye. His swing could skip your heart. And when he smiled, girls giggled and boys caught the mischief in his eyes.
We all remember the switch-hitting stance, the Oklahoma drawl, the blazing speed, tape measure home runs, the blonde-haired country boy who became the most feared hitter in baseball. But as legend melds into myth over the years, we can lose sight of what he truly managed to accomplish during his playing days. The absolute jaw-dropping numbers: 536 home runs, Triple Crown, 3 MVP awards, and 7 World Series championships. We may remember the highlights, the time he hit that 565-foot bomb at Griffith Stadium, but we find ourselves forgetting the great stories, like the time he played the entire 1961 season on one good leg while chasing Babe Ruth's home run record, or how Mantle went from a small kid from a small Oklahoma mining town to perhaps the greatest switch hitter of all time. Well, now it's time to jog our memory and appreciate the glory of baseball's Commerce Comet. But despite his seemingly invincible legacy, Mantle did have some weaknesses. Mickey struck out 1,710 times during his 18-year career, and he was known for his legendary partying, especially early on in his story. Mantle also faced some brutal injuries that certainly limited his potential. So, how good was Mickey Mantle actually? And is he really the greatest baseball player of all time? To answer that, we'll start with his beginnings and God-given talent. Step right up to the plate with us, if you dare. Mickey Mantle was supposed to be ordinary. Born in a small Oklahoma mining town, nobody expected greatness from the Mantle family. His father, Mutt, worked in the lead mines and dreamed of his son becoming a baseball star, but Mickey was small and skinny as a kid. However, the Mantles were blessed with supreme athleticism. Just look at Mickey's speed and coordination, even as a teenager. When Mickey developed his switch-hitting swing and grew to 5'11" and 195 pounds of pure muscle, he became unstoppable. By his senior year of high school, Mickey was hitting 400 with tape measure home runs that traveled further than anyone had ever seen. But despite his incredible raw talent, young Mickey was still rough around the edges because he'd only played organized baseball for a few years. As a 19-year-old rookie in 1951, Mickey hit just .267 with 65 strikeouts in 96 games. He was the backup outfielder behind Joe DiMaggio, and his fundamentals, plate discipline, and confidence weren't yet at a championship level. But all that changed in the 1951 World Series when Mickey stepped up in clutch moments, helping the Yankees win their 3rd straight title. "That World Series gave me the confidence I needed," Mickey later said. "It showed me I belonged with the best players in the world." That transformed Mickey from a scared kid from Oklahoma into Mickey Mantle, Yankees superstar. In the next few seasons, Mantle continued his baseball education under Casey Stengel and became a complete player. He learned to lay off bad pitches, developed his legendary power from both sides of the plate, and became the fastest player in baseball. But based on his early career alone, it was hard to predict that Mickey would reach the pinnacle of baseball greatness. When the 1952 season started, it took Mantle just 30 games to establish himself as a superstar. By the end of April, it was obvious that Mickey was destined for greatness. While other players looked fast, Mantle was like lightning. There was nobody in baseball who could run like him. It seemed almost unfair how he could leg out infield hits with just his speed, beating out throws that should have been easy outs. On top of his speed, Mickey was also the strongest player in baseball, with unmatched power from both sides of the plate. When he connected with a fastball, it sounded different, like a cannon shot.
There's a fly ball out to right field. That ball is going, it is gone.
His home runs didn't just clear the fence, they disappeared into the stratosphere. Defenders would just stand and watch because they'd never seen baseballs hit that hard or that far. "I never seen power like that," said opposing pitcher Whitey Ford. When Mickey got all of it, you just hoped it stayed in the ballpark. Thanks to his tape measure blasts and incredible speed, Mantle quickly became the most exciting player in baseball. So it only made sense that in 1952, he became the Yankees' starting center fielder despite being just 20 years old. That same year, he hit his first signature home run, a 565-foot bomb at Griffith Stadium that's still talked about today. That wasn't a home run, said one sports writer. That was a rocket ship with Mickey Mantle's name on it. As if Mickey wasn't doing enough already, in 1954 he led the American League in home runs with 27, while hitting 300 and stealing 12 bases. But Mickey was miserable despite all the individual success. He was always losing in the World Series to teams like the Giants and the Dodgers. In his first 4 seasons, Mickey won just 1 World Series despite being the most talented player in baseball. But after the Yankees added Whitey Ford to the rotation and developed their pitching staff, Mickey's life would change forever. In 1956, Mickey had the greatest individual season in baseball history.
There's a drive that's going to go over the wall for a home run. Mickey Mantle has just hit his 6th World Series home run.
353 average, 52 home runs, 130 RBIs, winning the Triple Crown and MVP award. He also stole 10 bases and scored 132 runs while playing Gold Glove defense in center field. That 56 season was when people started calling him the best player they'd ever seen. Mickey Mantle is the most complete baseball player I've ever watched, said Casey Stengel. He can beat you with power, speed, defense, or just by showing up and intimidating the other team. But none of that mattered, because the most important thing to Mickey was winning. And now, with a complete team around him, the Yankees were unstoppable. In 1956, they won the World Series, with Mickey dominating the Dodgers. However, it was proof that individual greatness needs team support, a lesson baseball teaches every superstar. In the 1957 season, Mickey followed up his Triple Crown with another incredible year.
Long drive to right center field. It is a home run for Mickey Mantle.
Hitting .365 with 34 home runs, despite playing through knee injuries that would have sidelined most players. The Yankees won the pennant again, but lost a heartbreaking World Series to the Braves in 7 games. In 1958, Mickey bounced back with 42 home runs, and the Yankees reclaimed the championship. But it was in 1961 that Mickey achieved his greatest individual feat, chasing Babe Ruth's home run record alongside teammate Roger Maris. While Maris eventually broke the record with 61 homers, Mickey's 54 home runs, while battling injuries, showed his incredible toughness and competitive spirit. The media started questioning whether Mickey was clutch enough for the biggest moments, but he silenced critics with his World Series performances. In 1964, despite the Yankees losing the series, Mickey hit 3 home runs and drove in 8 runs.
Big Yankee crowd roaring now for some action. There's a high drive, it's a deep right, and
playing through pain that would have hospitalized ordinary players. Throughout his career, Mickey was known for playing hurt, broken bones, torn muscles, knee problems that required constant treatment. Mickey played in pain more than any athlete I've ever seen, said Yankees trainer. What he accomplished while injured was superhuman. But Mickey's biggest enemy wasn't opposing pitchers. It was his own body. The combination of his all-out playing style and the physical demands of baseball took a brutal toll. His knees were constantly swollen. His shoulders ached, and he played through injuries that would sideline modern players for months. Despite the pain, Mickey never used it as an excuse. In fact, some of his greatest performances came when he was most banged up. The 1964 World Series, his final one, saw a hobbled Mickey still managing to hit crucial home runs and make spectacular defensive plays.
Here's the payoff pitch. This is it! There it goes! It's out of here!
I probably played my last 5 years on one good leg, Mickey later said, but I wasn't going to let my teammates down or give less than everything I had. When we analyze Mickey's career, we see 3 distinct phases. The first phase, from 1951 to 1955, was when he was learning to harness his incredible raw talent. He was the fastest, strongest player in baseball, but still developing his plate discipline and baseball IQ. The second phase, from 1956 to 1964, was peak Mickey Mantle. He'd learned to work counts, became more selective at the plate, and turned his raw power into constant production. production. This was when he won his 3 MVP awards and established himself as the most feared hitter in baseball. The final phase, from 1965 to 1968, saw Mickey battling his deteriorating body, but still producing at an elite level through pure determination and baseball intelligence. Even when he couldn't run like he used to, he could still turn on a fastball and drive it 500 feet. So how good was Mickey Mantle actually? Even when he wasn't at his absolute best, Mickey was still the most dangerous hitter in baseball. His combination of switch-hitting power, blazing speed, and clutch performance was unprecedented. If you compare Mickey to other all-time greats, his peak was as high as anyone's. Ted Williams had better plate discipline, Willie Mays was more consistent, and Hank Aaron had better longevity. But nobody combined raw power, speed, and clutch performance like Mickey Mantle. Babe Ruth hit more home runs and had better career numbers, but he never faced the level of pitching that Mickey did. Lou Gehrig was more durable, but didn't have Mickey's speed or defensive ability. Willie Mays was more complete, but he couldn't match Mickey's pure power. The only player who comes close to Mickey's combination of tools is Ken Griffey Jr., who had similar speed and power, but couldn't match Mickey's clutch performance or championship success. What sets Mickey apart is what he accomplished while playing through constant pain. Modern players miss months with injuries that Mickey played through daily. His willingness to sacrifice his body for his team, combined with incredible natural ability, creates a legacy that's impossible to replicate. Mickey Mantle retired as the greatest switch hitter in baseball history.
The magnificent Yankee, the great number 7, Mickey Mantle.
With 7 World Series championships and 3 MVP awards. He hit the longest home runs anyone had ever seen and ran the bases faster than players half his size. Most importantly, he did it all while playing through pain that would have ended most careers. In the end, Mickey Mantle represents everything great about baseball. Raw talent, determination, team success, and the willingness to play through adversity. While others may have better statistics or longer careers, nobody embodied the spirit of baseball greatness quite like the Commerce Comet. And that's what makes Mickey Mantle not just one of the greatest baseball players ever, but perhaps the most uniquely gifted athlete the sport has ever seen. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video and comment to let us know what you think of Mantle's legacy. Subscribe for more legendary baseball stories every week. This is Inside Baseball, where we bring you the best of the game.